All right, welcome back to another episode of the Badass Podcast. Today's episode number 44. I want to share my top 5 favorite podcasts. Podcasts have changed my life, really, in the last few years. I remember I used to have a really long commute to work, about 45 minutes one way, and I just got really sick of listening to the radio. I felt like they just played the same songs on repeat over and over and over, and it was just driving me insane. And I had heard of audiobooks, but I wasn't quite there yet. I used to enjoy like the talk radios and stuff, so I thought maybe that would work. I ended up finding podcasts, which I don't have to explain to you guys what podcasts are. A lot of times I have to explain to people what podcasts are. So if you're listening to this, do me a favor right now. Screenshot this, and then I want you to copy the link, share with a friend, share on your social media, tag me. Let's get the word out there that there are podcasts out there and that there's mine and there's 5 others that I recommend starting with. Okay. So here it is. Let's dive on in. Because I was hooked. I was hooked on podcasts. I tried to get as much information as I possibly could. There's a podcast out there on everything. And these are like my 5 go-to that help me in my personal and my professional life. All right. So the first one that I recommend is Heather Chauvin's Mom is in Control. Okay, and Heather is all about abundance in your life, in your career, and in your home. She says it doesn't matter if you're a mom or not. She's there to teach you that you are in control of your life and how you want to feel, whether or not you're a mom. She teaches you how to energetically manage your time in a totally no BS way. She's super authentic and teaches you ways to simplify your life and also how to think outside the box. She talks a lot about living a conscious life, and that can give you more energy and clarity. Okay, so I personally love Heather because not only was she a mentor of mine, but she's someone I consider now a close friend. Like, she is seriously no bullshit, and she calls it like she sees it. She is very real in her podcast and also shares stories about how she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. I don't know why I laugh at that. It's not funny. It's just insane to think that this woman had ever had cancer. But how she managed to turn it around. She's the one that brought me on to Core Desired Feelings, which is actually Danielle Laporte's work, and how we get to choose how we want to feel each day. You guys will love her. Check her out. She also has an explicit podcast. So if you guys love this one, you're definitely going to love that one. Whether you are a mom or not, you will really enjoy her podcast. So again, it is called Mom is in Control, and her name is Heather Chauvin. Next, Jenna Kutcher. She is the host of the Goal Digger podcast. Now, Jenna's podcast is a live workshop style business podcast that is helping thousands redefine success and chase bolder dreams. You can get live training from the experts. They dive deep, they do the work, they tackle all of our goals along the way. She shares really everything. And then what's really cool is she tells about how she went from a corporate job, how she left her corporate job. I think she said she bought like a $300 camera and then created her own photography business by just saying like, screw this, I'm going to buy a camera and be a photographer. So I love her. She's very upbeat. She's very positive. She's truly a marketing and strategy genius. And she doesn't stop there, though. She brings experts in, inspiring women who have created their own business out of nothing. She's super honest, raw, real, very positive, super kind person. I just really love her positivity. She shares, gosh, she's been through some stuff. She shares a lot of struggles that she went through with she's had more than one miscarriage, and how that has impacted her personal life and her professional life. She shares about how she was shamed for being a bigger girl and how her husband was too skinny and good looking for her. And she's really just such a sweet person. And I just love listening to her podcast. She's got tons of good nuggets in there, and I'm sure you'll love her just as much as I am, or as I do. She is definitely a woman on a mission. And again, that is Jenna Kutcher, Goal Digger podcast. And the next one I have for you is Rachel Hollis, the Rise podcast. And if you guys don't know who Rachel Hollis is, she is on fire this year. Okay. This podcast is hosted by Rachel Hollis. She says it's a bold conversation with fellow business powerhouses that provide the listener with real life, tangible takeaways. And isn't that the truth? I'm kind of reading off my notes here because I wanted to make sure that I grasp what their podcast is actually about, because sometimes I'm just like, I love it, you just need to listen to it. But I really wanted to give you a blurb from what their podcast actually is. So Rachel Hollis is on fire. And if you don't know who she is, you need to check out her podcast and grab her book, Girl, Wash Your Face. She's super authentic and totally ass-kicking, you guys. She shares women entrepreneurs and how they built their businesses. She shares the good, the bad, the ugly. She invites you to celebrate the things that aren't good too, because you can't have the light without the dark. And she is always like, you can't cheer for the good if you can't also cheer for the bad, kind of thing. And I don't know if you guys can hear my dog snoring on the floor behind me, but it's very distracting. She's also suffered from debilitating anxiety before her therapist asked her, who are you trying to please? She talks a lot about OPO, or she calls it other people's opinions, and how they are none of your business. She says, nobody gets to live your life and be the creator of your dreams except for you. I really think that she's just a breath of fresh air. And I know you guys will love her. So again, that is Rachel Hollis and the Rise podcast. Okay, another personal favorite of mine. I really, really like this guy a lot. And his name is Rich Roll, and it's just really simple, the Rich Roll podcast. He says, a master class in personal and professional development, ultra athlete, wellness evangelist, I can't say that word, and best-selling author Rich Roll delves deep into the world's brightest and most thought-provoking leaders to educate, inspire, and empower you to unleash your best, most authentic self. I freaking love Rich Roll. He is a super athlete, you guys. He's run these ultra marathons, which are actually 2 marathons, and a marathon is 26 miles. So he's ran across countries. He's just a total ultra athlete, and he's vegan. And it's so funny because a lot of times people say you can't be, in these ultra sports or ultra endurance sports and be a vegan. And he's just totally proved everybody wrong. And he, he's just so remarkable. I learn so much from him and his guests. He really does bring the best to teach you everything I know about personal and professional development. If you go through, the other day he had Lindsey Vonn on. I mean, he just has all kinds of really freaking cool people on there. And what's funny is he was actually an alcoholic lawyer before he turned into this vegan super athlete. He's just got an incredible story. And he also has a book called Finding Ultra. And again, his name's Rich Roll with the Rich Roll podcast. You guys, he is just blows my mind every time I listen to one of his episodes, whether it's health, nutrition, business, personal development. He just brings the coolest people on his show. And his are actually very long shows too. So a lot of times it takes couple times before you get through his shows. And then if you're looking for a quick pick-me-up, my last one that I'm going to recommend to you is called Quote of the Day by Sean Croxton. He's super fun, energetic podcaster. I'm still pretty new to this podcast, but it's definitely becoming one of my favorites. So he says that this podcast will change your life in 12 minutes or less, and I'm finding that to be totally true. He shares quotes and clips from inspirational and motivational let me try that again. He shares quotes and clips from inspirational and motivational individuals all over the world. This is a quick podcast that will lift your spirits and help you take that positive momentum through your day. So share it with others. He has he does the introduction part of it, and then he takes clips from other people's websites, other people's podcasts, other people's speeches, motivational speeches, whatever it is. And they're like 10 minutes, and it's like, wow, I really needed that. And so it's every single day. And I just go through and I listen. It's like a quick 10 minutes, and I just feel that much better about my day. And it's so funny because a lot of the times the quote or the quick blurb or whatever is exactly what I needed to hear that day. So again, that was called Quote of the Day by Sean Croxton. And then I will go ahead and post all of these links in the show notes. And don't forget to leave me a 5-star review. Let me know if you guys like these podcasts. What do you want to hear more of? Tell me all the things that you're learning, what you're doing, what you're taking away, all of those things. And then do me a favor and actually, you can either screenshot this and like share it on your social media, or just send me a message and let me know what some of your favorites are, because I love listening to new podcasts. There's probably like 10 or 12 podcasts that I subscribe to. These are just like my 5 go-to, I guess you could say. So if you have extras out there or others out there that you think that I would enjoy, I really just like the inspirational, motivational, uplifting, like get shit done kind of podcast. So if you know any and you're like, oh my gosh, Sasha, you need to listen to this, send it my way. I would love, love, love for you to send me your recommendations. Okay. And then, that's it. That's all I got. Talk to you guys later.